Happy Monday. I have a beautiful new story, and this one comes from Animal Miracles. And this story is going to leave you loving and admiring this unlikely angel who came to save the life of a baby just to prove to us that animals possess an incredible protective instinct. I hope you enjoy the story. When Roy and Bernetta Rogers were married in 1971, they dreamed of starting a large family. Sadly, their dream was not meant to be. Bernetta became pregnant 3 times, but each time the baby was born prematurely and died. The experience was devastating. Bernetta suffered with grief and a hole that nothing could fill. With so much love to give, it's not surprising that when a stray kitten wandered into their lives, Roy and Bernetta welcomed the kitten in. They named the black cat Midnight. Midnight adapted well to their home and loved spending time cuddling with them. Unlike the popular myths and superstitions of a black cat, Midnight brought the Rogers good fortune. Within a year of Midnight's arrival, Bernetta became pregnant again, and this time she gave birth to a healthy baby girl named Stacy. Bernetta believed that Stacy's birth was a miracle. It was a miracle for her to have this little girl after waiting for so long. Roy and Bernetta were extremely protective of their daughter, and as an added precaution, they installed a portable baby monitor in the nursery. They monitored her constantly, making sure that nothing would ever happen to the baby. Even Midnight seemed to do the same, as she would stand guard on top of Stacy's baby changing station, watching her for hours while she slept on the crib. It was as if Midnight knew that this was important for the Rogers, so she was always looking after her, always in the room with her as her guardian. At 6 weeks of age, Stacy became seriously ill. Bernetta took her immediately to the pediatrician. They told Bernetta it was a cold, a respiratory type of thing that was going around, and there was nothing to worry about, that she would be okay. That afternoon, after putting the baby down for a nap, Bernetta went downstairs to join her parents, who were visiting from out of town. Moments later, Midnight ran into the room and jumped on Bernetta's lap, and down again and up again into her lap, and this went on consistently. Bernetta couldn't understand what Midnight wanted. She thought that maybe she wanted to play or was hungry. But because her parents were visiting from out of town, she pushed her away and told her to leave her alone. Midnight ran immediately back upstairs into the nursery. Moments later, Bernetta and her parents heard a terrifying sound coming from the baby monitor. It was a strange screech of a scream. It was so frightening that Bernetta and her parents ran immediately upstairs to the baby's nursery. When they entered the room, they found Midnight moaning and hissing right into the baby monitor. Midnight was sort of leaning towards the bassinet, and she immediately looked at the baby, and she was looking blue and not breathing. Concerned and panicked, Bernetta thought she was going to lose Stacy. She rushed the baby to the hospital, where the baby went into a full respiratory failure. Fortunately, she had arrived in time for the doctors to save the child's life. It was all due to the miraculous actions of Midnight that Stacy was saved. Today, the Rogers family lives in Kansas City, Missouri, where Stacy has grown to a beautiful, healthy 12-year-old who has grown to be Midnight's best friend. And she is forever grateful that her life was saved by a cat. I just love the story because it goes to show you that animals possess an incredible instinct, and they're like little people. And what I find amazing about this story is how Midnight knew that the baby was in distress, but even more incredible that once she failed to get the attention of Bernetta, she knew somehow to use the baby monitor, the technology, to send a distress signal. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Coincidence or miracle? To me is miracle. It's a miracle that this cat came into their lives with the purpose to save this little girl's life. And given that today is Monday, the first day of the week, let that be your theme. If you are a pet owner, love your pets, appreciate them, because you never know, like in the story, when they can save your life. My daughter used to constantly ask for a cat, but I am not a cat person at all. So I kept saying no for years until she wore me down, and we went to various shelters because she wanted a baby kitten, white. And so we visited many centers and nothing. And suddenly she sees this black tuxedo cat, far from what she said she wanted, and it was love at first sight. So we rescued this cat, bring him home, and he had been abused and he was mean. You couldn't go near him, couldn't touch him. He would try to scratch us. Any loud noise will set him off, and at nights he will cry. And then I understood why two previous adoptive families had gave him up, and I just didn't have the heart to tell my daughter that maybe we should give up on him as well, because she just loved him so much. She obviously saw something in him, because like I said, he was nothing from what she thought she wanted. And I'm happy to say that with time, with patience and love, Porsche began to reciprocate. And now I cannot imagine my life without him. He is my faithful companion. He sits in my office with me, either right on my lap or right next to me on a chair, and he spends hours on end next to me. And even now that I'm recording this video, I don't know if you can see, but in the background, he's sitting over there. So yeah, he is my companion, and I love him so much. And I like to believe that it was not an accident. It was not a coincidence on how Porsche came to be in our lives. So I hope you enjoyed the story. Please remember to subscribe to my storytelling channel and help me grow. Share the video with your family and your friends, and I will see you next Monday. In the meantime, stay safe, stay grateful, and remember that angels come in all kinds of sizes and forms. I'll see you next week.